Monday, Henry Slade and Manu Tulagi have been named in the squad for this weekend's game. How do you solve a problem like Tulagi?
Yeah, we just gotta have to make sure we bring our A game. They're obviously world class players, so yeah, we just gotta make sure we worry about ourselves really, and then we'll go from there.
Does he change England's shape without having Tulagi in there versus having Farrell and Joseph say as a
Tulagi a big man. He's a strong man. Obviously, you can see it in the way they play. Plays a big part as well, and Owen Farrell as well, and the likes of Owen Farrell and forward as well, playing the game, and big ball carriers like Manu, massive threats as well. And then you've got the likes of Henry Slade who loves to play. They've got massive threats around all the park, but I think we just need to worry about ourselves, because after that, the last few games that we've had with them, we've had a good bit of a spanking from them, so yeah.
Does that stink those two games last year, especially the one with Leeds? Maybe did they leave the sting with you personally?
Sorry, say that again.
Did they leave the sting? Did they leave a mark?
Oh yeah.
Those
Obviously they're a world class team. They're obviously a World Cup runners up. If you're off your game, they're obviously going to punish you. So we just want to make sure that we're on our game and make sure that we start well and play to the best as we can.
Obviously helps, Robbie, that that there's the 2 wins already leading up to it. The bonus point win over Wales and obviously Scotland, whereas last year it was the opening game of the Six Nations and maybe a little bit tougher to recover from and bounce back from.
Yep, it's I suppose having the 2 home games back to back is it's probably rare in the Six Nations, so it's been a good start for us, but we're well aware of the challenge going to Twickenham. We've all played there before, and we can expect it to be a hostile environment and a really tough place to go. But again, we have that bit of confidence from, I suppose, 2 years ago that we went there back to the wall, and we obviously had the Grand Slam on the line. So I suppose we have that bit of confidence that we've been there before, and it's obviously a really tough place to play, but on a positive note, we've pulled up big performances there before.
Any additional focus on the fact that you could win the Triple Crown at the very least on the weekend?
Focus is basically on ourselves. That's kind of in the background, but focus is on ourselves and how we can get things right in the early part of the week, and then build towards the end of the week. To put in that clinical performance. But again, it's not that's not at the forefront at the moment. It's more so on getting our bits of detail right in training and making sure we're getting our work done.
You've obviously heard Andy talk about his son before, but more likely to be in the centre again this weekend. Is it still weird though hearing him talk about his son?
Yeah, well, it's a different scenario, I suppose, for Andy now, because he's the head coach, and although we haven't heard him spoke too much about his son in the past, a lot of us we know the players, and we've played with them and played against them a lot of times, so a lot of us would share knowledge that we know of the players.
Robbie, I'll just ask you about the Twickenham factor. You've had some success there, obviously, but is it still a daunting place to go?
Yeah, just as I said, it's a cauldron-like atmosphere when you're playing there. Obviously, the atmosphere, and you're against I suppose a tough opposition and then a tough crowd. So yeah, we're under no illusions again. As I said, it's a very tough place to play, but I suppose that creates more excitement for us to go there, with against I suppose tough opposition and a tough crowd. So for us to put in, try and put in the best performance we can do.
In terms of your own performance, obviously you both play well together. That partnership, is that something you enjoy when you're both together for Ireland?
I've been answering for ages.
Yeah, no, obviously we got a bit of a relationship that we have going on, and I think it's just the the relationship that we have as a group, as a collective. I think all of us as centres, I think we have a good connection between us as a group. We're always doing videos together, always helping each other out as best as we can and preparing each other as best as we can. The likes of Stewie as well and Chris Farrell, you know, when they're on the pitch, we do our best to make sure we're preparing each other. It's unfortunate for Ringer that's not here. He's another class player that we have as well. So I think the good thing about us is that we gel together as a group when we're in there, and I think that's the main message that we've got across, especially from Andy Farrell, making sure that everyone is helping each other out to be the best as we can.
Does he always boss you around like that?
Sorry?
Does he always boss you around like that?
Yeah, he does always. Yeah, he thinks he's good at FIFA as well. But yeah.
And Robbie, just on the impact of Andy Farrell on the defence, is that something that, you know, he prides himself on how long that's his own expertise? Is it something he drills onto you about the defence?
Yeah, absolutely. I think defence being a good team in defence is core to the game, and it's core to winning test matches. I think, you know, your defence is key to winning big games. So yeah, we're going to have to be, you know, rock solid this weekend. That'll start today with building today with looking at our defence and then looking into our attack tomorrow and the next day.
Is this game made harder because England have already been beaten? That they can't afford to lose this weekend?
I think it's regardless, whenever you play England, I think it's going to be tough. Even though they lost against France, but still they're a world-class team. France are just making strides now, they're a class team as well, but I think any team that come against England it's always going to be tough. They're a tough quality side, and they've got world-class players all over the park, and if you're, like I said, if you're not on your game, it's going to be a tough day in the park. So I think we just need to worry about ourselves and make sure we do everything that we can, like I said before.
What went wrong for England that day, do you think, against France? What did the French do well?
I think under Sean Edwards, I think France's defence has been pretty good. You see their line speed was good in that game. Yeah, I think that was key to France was them putting England under pressure and in tricky conditions. Yeah, I think that was probably key. And then there was a few big moments where France got a breakaway try. You know, where the players might have thought there could have been a stop, but it was open play. So there was a few key moments, and you know, coming back to all test games, there's obviously going to be key moments in the games where, you know, one team has to be more clinical than the other, and you know, you just have to take your opportunities when you're given them. So that's key.
Is that where you think maybe Jordan Orr, if he's picked, and other members of the back three could play a crucial role this weekend?
Yeah, I think across the whole group, we have players who are able to step up in big moments and produce the goods. And looking at Jordan, he for his first try against Wales, he produced a good step and finished off well to get us off the scoreboard. So again, in these big games, we have big players who produce big moments, and we all need to be able to step up and do that.
Just overall, in the head-to-heads since the turn of the England, I really have had a better record against England, so you could have win this with a, you know, I suppose the inferiority complex that might have been there in our England games totally gone now, is it?
Again, we just look back at, you know, not to turn it into the old saying, but we're just looking at ourselves, and you know, we don't really look back too far with previous games, because the game has evolved so much and teams are changing so much. You have to focus on the now and you know, I suppose your next match. So we can't really look back in terms of, you know, our past results against them, because you know, the game has moved on so much and things have changed a lot. So again, we're just going to look at ourselves, at our detail, get everything right today on the pitch, and you know, make sure we have our homework done for this side that we'll be facing.